The Protectors of the Wood Adventure Series, episode number 213, A New Plan. Abby, Phoebe, Sulay, and Nico had invited the reporters for the River City News, Zoe Collins and Barry Lipton, to join them in the church basement and avoid the crowd outside the churchyard. Barry and Zoe had guessed that this small group of young leaders were serious, and Barry said,
"So, you need help in the sense that we all need help. This is a do-or-die moment for life as we know it. Please help us, am I right?"
You do your homework. That's it.
There was a brief silence, and then Sulay spoke.
I'm not so acquainted with the science and politics yet, but you should know we also need help around here. Everything we do is a struggle. Abby can't even go anywhere without being followed. You've read my blog. You know what's been happening.
Our blog, remember?
Oh, I'm sorry. It really is from both of us.
Zoe turned to Nico.
Don't worry. We can tell it's from both of you. Your names are under the photos in the newspaper. We'd like some of these photos too. We've spoken to George, but he says he has to give photos to the Evansville Record first.
Sulay and Nico looked at each other.
His girlfriend, you see.
They all laughed.
Well, we won't be selfish. Will we, Barry?
Of course not. There's more than enough of this story to go around. But let me get back to Sulay's point. We're astonished at the violence you've encountered, and we know that this harassment and hostility imply a larger world that we, so far, cannot see. Why people bother to treat you with such violence is something we cannot understand. Oh, we know you gave reasons in your interview.
No one spoke. Finally, Barry tried to finish up.
Look, we know you have to make your own judgments about what to share. We'll take this one step at a time. I'm sure Zoe and I can come up with an article for tomorrow's edition to help your Evansville Trustees event get serious attention. We'll explain the gathering idea. We'll be there and give it fair press. We'll get our science and political editors involved. We'll speak to Ricardo Richardson of the Evansville faculty and get some background on the issue of fossil fuel investments and cover the trustees' point of view as well as the student and faculty response.
Ricardo Richardson? I'll be in his course this semester. Sarah Williams supervises us.
I knew it. We know his work. I was wondering if he was involved.
And please, all of you, please help us too. We want to save the world too. Consider us your allies, and you won't be sorry. Our ambition is the same as yours. We want to leave our children with a future, the kind of future we hope for.
Zoe's eyes were tearing up. Abby thought it might be a good place to end the meeting, but Nico looked nervously around the group.
Maybe I should say something else before we go.
He looked at Sulay and she nodded.
Earlier, I was walking up Bridge Avenue to guard the gate. And that guy, the one we were talking about, that you knew before.
Nico came to a stop and looked at Abby.
Yes. What happened?
He came towards me. And I said hello. He didn't even look at me. But I heard a low voice as he walked by. He said, "At least one of the reporters is not a reporter."
Abby's eyes widened.
Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. I heard him directly. There was no one else around. He didn't even have to say it that soft.
Nico looked over to Zoe and Barry.
Anyway, I thought you might look out for us about this sort of thing.
Abby smiled and breathed a sigh of relief. She was thinking,
Oh, I'm so glad. I didn't ruin Marcus's life. He likes us. He's doing something for us.
Zoe and Barry were at full attention.
We know most of them. We're often trying to cover the same stories. There's only 3, maybe 4, I don't know.
There's some turnover in that group. This is a new story, and new people get assignments. Well, we can do a little checking for you. If you're actually thinking of calling the names on all those cards you've collected, let us go over them first. We'll call the offices of the few we don't know and get back to you. There's definitely an opportunity for a spy or rogue reporter paid off by outside interest to look for dirt and evil spin. It happens all the time. And we've been told that Morphy and his empire own the Middletown Standard with their office right down the street.
Abby was looking off into space, shaking her head. Phoebe leaned forward to Zoe and Barry.
I'd like to know right away, like tomorrow. Most of the group will show up at the trustee event, and a couple of enemy reporters or provocateurs could do a lot of damage. Everyone's worried about it. If we knew beforehand, we'd be a little less helpless.
What do you think, Zoe?
Give me the cards. You do the part you described, and I'll handle this. It's my style of thing. I always wanted to be a detective.
Abby handed her the business cards from her pocket and retrieved the others from her cottage. Zoe counted out 26 of them and began to make 2 piles with Barry's help. 5 were in the do not know column. They began to compare notes, and in the end had a vague idea of what the 5 looked like.
When can I get back to you?
Abby was still staring into space. Phoebe filled the leadership gap, saying,
Let's not meet here under their noses. Sammy's coffee shop at lunchtime will be better. Say around 1? We'll sit at a booth.
Zoe and Barry agreed, though Barry was hesitant. Sulay and Nico were enthusiastic. They felt it was part of their job description.
It'll be crowded by 1. I'll get there early and reserve a booth.
I'll make my calls today and tomorrow morning.
Abby considered that the group had become a team in very short order. Each person had a job to do and seemed determined to do it well. It was Thursday afternoon. The event was planned for Saturday morning at 9 a.m.
One day as I was wandering a long way I can tell, a sudden spell came over me and suddenly I fell. It's a magic world, I'm telling you, Mother Nature told me. She needs everything that we can do as far as the eye can see. It's way too much, I cried and cried, we haven't got that much to give.
It all depends, my human friend, on how you want to live. You're part of me, I think you know, but who made you a king? We stand or fall as one, you know. We start at the beginning. I try to speak, do you hear me? I warn with catastrophes, do you see me? I'm in pain, do you think I'm real? Please believe that we can heal.
But what can I do? This can't be real.
has gone astray. Please come back and help today. I'm not high and mighty, I'm alive in all you see. I'll give you a chance to understand. I am even in a grain of sand. I have a message for you, something for all, something to call. Send this message around the world, to the young and old, the great and small. I bring all things together, everything that comes and goes, on foot, on the ground, and flying on wings. I am everywhere you go. Nothing is useless, nothing is dead. I hope you've heard every word I've said. For we are sailing our ship of life through a dangerous storm of strife. And life on earth is in the palm of our hands. I'm hoping we can understand. I'm hoping on a bright new day, together we can find a way. Together we can find a way. All life today, show us the 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 way.
Trillions of living things are everywhere around. Our lives are all planted deep into the sacred ground. There's everything to love and everything to fear. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. It's planet Earth in the universe and nature lives here. And nature lives here.